In this video, we will be learning how to display an image onto the screen. So by the end of this video, we will have a class to hold our image and a main class to display our image on the screen. So I have a new project and I called mine Art Gallery, and a new main class, again called Art Gallery. And the main file should be exactly the same as the Red Window class that we used earlier, except we're going to change the name Red Window to Art Gallery, anywhere that is, and the object to Gallery. And so we've also changed the background color to be black. And so once we have this main class all set up, we need to create a new class. So let's just create a new class, and let's call it Art Piece. And this class is going to hold our picture. And so we hit Finish to create that file. And the first thing we do once we're inside our Art Piece class is we need a constructor. So public art piece, and then inside the parentheses we're going to pass it string file name, which will be the name of the file we want to get. So we need to be able to store our image, so we need a place to put it. So we're going to use a buffered image type, and I'm going to call mine drawing. And now we just need to import java.awt.image.bufferedImage. And so now we have a place to store our picture. Back to our constructor, we need a try catch. So let's make a try catch statement, and we want drawing to equal image.io.read, and then inside the parentheses of read we're going to pass it the file, so new file, and then inside the parentheses of file we're going to pass it the name, so res slash that in quotes plus file name, which is just the name that was passed into our constructor. And so we need to import a couple things, java.io.file and javax.image.io.image.io. Again, pay attention to the capitalization. Back to our constructor, we're going to catch an IO exception E. And so we're going to do e.printStackTrace. And so that's if we do encounter an error, it's going to print it out so that we know what happened. And so we're going to need to import that too, so java.io.io exception is where that comes from. And so now it should load up our picture given a file name. And so back to our main class, our art gallery, we need to create an instance for our drawing. So private art piece art. And then in our constructor for our main class, we need art equals new art piece, and let's pass it the name. And so mine is going to be monsters.jpg. So you need to pass it the file of the image that you want to load, and make sure that you have the capitalization correct and the file extension, whether that's JPEG, PNG, or something else. And so now what we need to do is we need to create a new folder to hold our image so that the project can find it. So let's create res and just hit OK, and that's all lowercase res, which stands for resources. Inside this folder we're going to put our image. So let's find our image. I already have mine located, and so once you find the location of the image that you want to display, and find the location of your Java Eclipse project, and you should notice it has that res folder right there. Just drag that picture that you want to display on the screen into the res folder. Now go back to your Eclipse and right click on the folder res and click the refresh. And now if we click on the triangle, we should notice it has that monsters.jpg, or the image that you want to create. And so now the last thing we need is to look at the paint method. So we need to call art.paint and then pass it g. And then inside of our art piece class we need to create a new method, and that's going to be public void paint, and then inside of the parentheses would be graphics g. And we're going to need to import that, so import java.awt.graphics. And now back to our paint method, we can call g.drawImage, and it's going to ask for a bunch of things. And so the first thing it asks for is the image, and that's going to be drawing, which is our buffered image. And so then it asks for an x and a y. It's going to be the upper left hand corner on the screen where we want to display it. And so I want mine to be at 50 for the x value and 50 for the y value. And then next is the bottom right hand corner of the picture on the screen. And so I am going to set mine to 430 and 520 for me. these next pairs of X and Y are where in the picture the image that you're actually loading, that file, where you're taking that from. So it's going to be 0, 0 for me because that's the upper left hand corner of my image, monsters.jpg. And then the lower right hand corner, which is just the width and the height. And mine is 1700 and 2300. So make sure that you have yours for the width and height of your picture. And then it needs an image observer, and we always pass that null. And so now that we have that, we should be able to go back to our art gallery, and let's run our program. So save those files, and it brings up a window, and hopefully we have our image displayed on the screen. And so we notice that we have it up, the upper left hand corner is about 50 pixels down and 50 pixels over, and the bottom right hand corner again is where we put it in relation to the upper hand corner. So let's X out of that, and let's go back and change a couple things to see if we understand what they do. So let's change some of those variables in our draw image. So let's change this Y value here from 50 to 250. And that should change the upper left hand corner of our picture on the screen. And so since we didn't change the bottom right hand corner, we notice that it doesn't lower the picture, it just squishes it. So it brought down our upper left hand corner since we changed that Y value. So let's go back, let's put that back to 50, and let's change one of these last four numbers. So let's only take the top half of the picture. So let's reduce this Y value in half, and let's see what that gives us. So now, instead of squishing the picture, it only loads the top half of the picture because we didn't tell it to load the entire thing. And so it is just stretched out over the entire area we want to draw on. So that's how you draw an image onto a window. Let's run our program again so that we can see our image displayed.